Hello guys and welcome to Daddy Share Space. I recently just put up a couple small videos about the countersink bits and with the depth stops, and then also about the self-centering bits, the offerings that are on the 1/4 inch platform, but then also the offerings that are on the Centrotec platform. So I've done a video not too long ago about the fact that I've switched over to a lot of my drills over to the Festool system, which gives me the ability to use the Festool or Centrotec chuck. I want to talk a little bit about that because one of the issues here, I have a set of Festool Centrotec bits. These are the short ones. And then over here, I have some long ones. And then obviously I presented that I have the Festool self-centering bit. I also have these countersink bits in the Centrotec system. I've got an extension here for the Centrotec system. And this is great. You know, if I want to do most of my drilling, I've got my Phillips, I have my, my T25s, and those are primarily the ones I use, as well as the Roberts bits for pocket holes. Now, that usually covers most of my drilling applications. However, I have run into an issue, and that issue comes with this right here. This is a Craig drill bit, and it comes in a 1/4 inch shank. Now, I'm pretty sure if I looked online long enough, I could probably find something similar to this that would actually fit in the Festool drill into the Centrotec, but you know, as you can see here, it does not fit. So the option that I would have would be to basically take the actual Jacob's chuck and open it up and use the drill in this fashion. Now, it's easy enough, it's not a hard thing. However, personally, I prefer the option of being able to have a quick fix to pop in, as opposed to having to use the Jacob's chuck. So, an option that I looked into was, well, first and foremost, when I purchased all these sets, you know, I have a Roberts bit here, but as you can see, it's pretty short. So like when I put it in the drill here, that's the length of it. And many of you know when you're doing pocket holes, the depth of the actual channel can be quite long. You may end up using a bit. Let me just move this to the side. You may end up using a bit that's about this long, right? And so what I was able to do is go online, and I found a company called Snappy Tool, I think is what it's called. And they make a Roberts style bit that is native to the Festool system. It's a Centrotec shaft. So as you can see there, it fits on and it locks in. So I'll just kind of lay these here and just kind of let you look at the tips of them, and you can see the difference in the shank. There's a longer actual shank here on the Centrotec, and then there's this shorter one with the actual 1/4 inch. And you know, as I said before, these will not fit in this drill. So you have a partial solution here. That partial solution is that you can use this to actually screw in the pocket hole screws. However, if you wanted to just run the Festool system and you did not want to use the Jacob's chuck, what do? Now, obviously, you could use something like this. This is an extension that, there's a shorter one that I have here. Let me grab the shorter one so it's not too long. I pop this out, I put in the shorter extension, which fits in there fine. And then I remove this and I can put my bit in there and I can get to drilling, right? You see there's a whole lot of wobble in there. But regardless of that, the problem is when I drill down into the wood, it just pops right on out. And this is the issue with this, or the flaw that I find in using this 1/4 inch accessory or adapter, you know, because obviously I could use this for the pocket hole screws as well, or any other 1/4 inch bit. I could use it with this here. Now I know Festool makes a Centrotec version. This is kind of like a ratcheting tip. Obviously it's not going to fit in here natively, but if I do use like one of these Festool adapters, I can put this in the end The issue, aside from the wobbling at the tip, is just the fact that basically any slight friction is stronger than the magnet that's in the tip here, and as a result, it's just going to come out. Having the ability to have a native option to be able to keep your bits locked into your drill, I find is very helpful. So I went online and I did some research, and let me move these out of the way for a second. And I came across 3 particular products, and I actually read some reviews on these 3 products. This is the Festool Centrotec. It is the 205097, and here I have the Festool Centrotec. This is the BT IMP Sort 4. Also, the number is 204384. Now, if you look at both of these, they look very similar. They look very similar, right? Matter of fact, let me open them both up so you can kind of see how similar they look. You pop it open, and there's that one. And again, this one, well, the name is the BHS60CE, and the number is 205097. Here, this is the BT IMP Sort 4. The number 204384. Let's pop it open. Obviously, this one comes with a few extra bits, but let's take a look at them. Let's set the bits to the side for a second and take a look at the 2. Now, obviously, we can see that this one here is longer than the other one, and we can also see a difference in the actual tips. This one has a Centrotec chuck, and this one has a 1/4 inch chuck. So what does that mean? If I take this Festool TID drill and I actually put the bit in, this is the actual one that comes with the bits, the actual impact bits. These bits, by the way, are impact rated, just to let you know. And once I pull the collar forward and push it in, there we go. It's in there and it's locked in. So it fits. Now let's try the other bit and see if it actually will fit inside the drill. So we pop this out, we stick it in, open it up, and it just comes out. It does not lock into the drill, okay? So this Festool TID actually has, now this is an impact, it's not a regular drill. It has a 1/4 inch chuck, similar to like my DeWalt drill that I have here with the 1/4 inch chuck, as you can see. So right off the bat, we see the difference between these 2 components. One of them has a 1/4 inch, the other one has a Centrotec tip. Now here I have my Festool TID. I'm going to remove the actual Roberts bit, and then we're going to take the Centrotec, and it's going to slide in, and it fits, and we're good to go. All right. Now, if I take that same, or the 1/4 inch, as I've expressed before, it's not going to fit in the drill, so you can't use it. Now, first and foremost, let me go over this one here, the impact one. Now, the benefit to this impact one is obviously it's going to go into your impact, your Festool impact, or if you have a drill like this DeWalt, because it's a 1/4 inch, it will go in there and it will lock in. So that's a benefit. Well, let's test something out real quick. Can I take this Centrotec shaft and put it in here? Okay, it fits, but it does not lock. There's a magnet in here that will hold it in place, but it will not lock in. So if I were to take, let's say, this is the Centrotec Roberts bit, and you put it in here, it will not lock into the drill. Okay, so let's take this off. Let's move this over here. I'll put it back into the Festool. As you see, it's locked here from the collar right here. It doesn't come out, but Centrotec will not lock into it. Okay, now if you notice, if you hear that, there's a click back and forth with this particular accessory. So what I can do with this particular setup is, obviously it comes with these little bits here. I can take these bits out and they'll fit in there, and they don't come out. In order to get it out, I have to push forward and then the bit comes out. So while it's out, I just pop it in and it locks. You hear it snap into place. So this gives me the ability, because these are impact rated bits, I can use all of these bits in an impact type solution with this particular device. I can also utilize it in this drill as well, so that gives me that functionality. Now, with this particular set, I was trying this out, and hopefully I can get it back out, but if you can see how small this bit is, if I try to put this in here natively, you see how far it recesses back into the drill, but then also I'm having problems getting it out. There, I was able to get it out, but that's not a great, this is a little bit too short for this particular drill. You would want something that's going to be a little bit longer to fit inside of a 1/4 inch chuck like this. So this one is specifically designed right here to take these extremely short bits and give you the ability to lock them in and make them snug so that you won't lose them in your screws when you're actually screwing things in. Now, the downside to this particular bit or this particular setup, if you pop this out, you pop it forward, take it out, and you compare it with, say, where's my other, but basically if you take this and you put it in, right, it fits in the tip and it'll work fine, and you can put this in your Centrotec bit or drill and use it. However, the problem with this particular setup is it is just a magnet friction fit, so it will not stay into the actual extension here. We get out that this is a locking collar. It has a 1/4 inch shank on it. It works with conventional drills. So why would you buy this? You would buy this because you want to use it with these impact rated bits. Obviously, you know, if you're using an impact type of driver, you don't want to use a regular bit because it's not rated for impact and you'll just tear them up quickly. So as you can see, you have this green band that kind of helps you to understand that these are impact rated bits. For the Festool system, it comes in this little clip, so it can actually hook onto your belt clip if you wanted to do that. This accessory here gives you the ability to use these shorter bits with the Festool TID. Now, let's move on. This particular setup too is about $42, okay? So just know that's how much it costs. Now, when we look at this Centrotec version of the same thing, which has the same locking functionality, let's go ahead and put that into the TID here. Retract this green collar, put it in there, and you see it's snug, it's not coming out. So what does that give me the ability to do? Well, let's go ahead and put a Centrotec bit in there. How about that? So I have here a Centrotec T30. I put it in there and it goes in there pretty good. Look at that. It just kind of sucks it in, but it doesn't lock. You see that? When I push it forward, when I pull it back, it doesn't matter, it doesn't lock. And that's because what this particular device does, it will convert your Festool drill from a Centrotec to 1/4 inch. And as you can see, it's locked in. That's what you want right there. So now, if I was, say, working on a project and I wanted to use my Centrotec Roberts bit to be able to put in pocket hole screws, and I wanted to use my Festool drill with the Craig drill bit, now I can, you know, take this whole setup off and switch it around however I want to, without having to worry about using a Jacobs chuck. So for me, that's nice, right? Having that functionality. So now, and the reason why I bring all this up is because oftentimes when I'm building like quick projects, I'm using my Craig pocket hole system. And as I bought all these Festool drills, I'm not the biggest fan of a Jacobs chuck. I'll use it in a pinch, but it's just not my first thing that I'll reach for. And with the Centrotec connection, it's not compatible with the 3/4 natively. So you would want to get this particular accessory in order to do that. Now, I said before that I saw people talking about both of these bits. I read some reviews before I purchased them. And on this 1/4 inch, the person was frustrated because it didn't fit in the Centrotec system, which rightly so, it's a 1/4 inch. It's not going to, right? So this is going to be a 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch device. And then someone else had purchased this Centrotec version, and based upon what they wrote, they were trying to use it in a regular 1/4 inch drill like this. And no matter how you put it in there, it's not going to stay. It's just going to slide right out. And so the person was frustrated with their purchase because of that. So you have to know what you're doing here when you purchase between these two particular accessories. They look very similar, but they are not the same. Remember that the 1/4 inch comes with this kit so that you actually get 5 bits, and this is a $42 kit, whereas the Centrotec version, converting your Festool drill into a 1/4 inch, is $32 by itself. Now, in doing my research, before I actually found this, because when I looked at it at a glance and I did not read, I thought that these were interchangeable. As a matter of fact, I went to my local woodcraft and I picked this up and thinking it was this. And when I got it home, I thought it through and obviously tried it, and I realized that this is not a replacement for this particular bit right here. Now, but before I actually found this, I actually found something else. Now, remember I said this right here is a product of Snappy Tool. It is a Centrotec made Roberts bit to be compatible with the Festool system. I have purchased more Snappy tools. This right here is a Make It Snappy Centrotec 1/4 inch chuck. Now, let's go ahead and open this up. I have not opened it as of yet, and let's give it a try and see how it does. So this is the actual bit itself, and it's, I guess the brand is Make It Snappy Tools. Just comparing it to the Festool version, as you can see, you know, there's a decent difference in size. The Festool one is a lot more sleek. I think it looks nicer, but let's give it a shot. All right, so I have my Festool CSX here. Let's go ahead and pop this in. Get it in there, and it is locked in place. And now I'll take my Craig bit, and there you go. It does the job. It does what you want it to do. So it doesn't quite look as elegant, if you will, as the Festool solution. The Festool bit obviously just seems to just kind of fit in with the drill, and it looks good. But this is an alternative that you would have to be able to run 1/4 inch bits. Now, pricing. Looking at both of these bits here, the Festool version and the Snappy Tool version. Now, it's up to you. Both of these I find to be fairly pricey for what they are. However, the Festool is $32 without tax. This Make It Snappy Tool version is $27 without tax, and I think with tax it was just over 30 bucks for me. So this is, I believe, the option that I found first. I ordered it on Amazon, and then I came back when I located this one and read closer and found out that there was a Centrotec version. I bought this one, not 100% knowing if it would actually work going to 1/4 inch, but it does. Now, hindsight 2020, if I was buying one and not, you know, doing a video like this to talk about the two, I would just go ahead and go with the Festool version because it's only, you know, a few bucks more, and it aesthetically it goes into the system. I did read a few reviews on this one, and some people said it kind of got stuck. Other people, I realized, purchased this and they tried to use it in a regular 1/4 inch shank, and it didn't work out for them because they didn't understand that it was a Centrotec type bit. But, you know, obviously I just unboxed this. I haven't put it through trial and error or through, you know, any paces or anything to see if it's going to hold up over time, but I do find that it's big when you compare the diameter of the two. So there's a significant difference in size, and this one works more so like the release here. But I mean, it's a pull back to release, whereas this is a push forward to release. But it feels kind of, you know, ruggedy like that. Whereas this Festool version on both the 1/4 inch, it has this clicking feature to lock it in. So it's just a different type of device. Whereas this one has more of a friction type connection. So you may be thinking, okay, You know, why else would you want to purchase these particular devices for your Festool drill? Why wouldn't you just stay Centrotec, and for something just as simple as this Craig bit, just use the Jacobs chuck? Well, this, you can buy a lot of things Centrotec that are crossovers, and one of those examples would be this right here. This is a ratchet head type bit, and this is another version of that bit, a larger size. Obviously, you pull it out. Let's move this out of the way for a second. And what that does is give you the ability to use your drill with sockets if you so chose to. Here I have a smaller version. So you see the different sizes. You've got your 1/2 inch, 3/8, and then also your 1/4 inch to be able to use various socket sizes. That increases the functionality of your drill. Now you can get these type of accessories in the Centrotec system, and so that is an option if you want to run 100% native. However, this is something you have to consider. When I went to my local Woodcraft and I picked up this impact set here, this was all they had. Now, I know online I see all kinds of Festool Centrotec solutions that come like this here, where you have a bunch of bits. You know, this I think was like $97, and this one, you know, could have been close to that. So, you know, Centrotec bits are not cheap by any means. But the problem is, let's say you're in the middle of a project and your bit fails, it breaks, it's inevitable. These things do not last forever. Well, my Woodcraft, maybe yours is different, but my local Woodcraft does not carry a wide selection of Festool Centrotec bits. So if I want to replace this or any of the bits in here, I am going to have to go online on Amazon or whatever, you know, retailer that I choose to use, and I'm going to have to order that bit online, and it's going to take some days to get to me. Whereas if I have this right here or this, if I have either one of these solutions, what I can do is I can grab a conventional drill bit, a conventional socket bit, or any of these other options, even these little hex bits here for bolts. And what I have the ability to do is, if I'm in the middle of a project, I don't have to stop my project because I need to order a Centrotec bit online. No, I can go right up to my local big box store and grab a 1/4 inch, and I can use it whether I choose the Festool solution or not. You know, up until now, when I've been doing my projects, because I don't like to use the Jacobs chuck, I would start off my project and say I'm doing pocket screws or something like that. I would have, you know, say my CSX setup, because I find that this Festool drill is very smooth when installing pocket screws. And I'll have this set up, and then my other drill, whichever one I had, would be set up with the Craig bit. I didn't even consider using bits like these socket type bits because they wouldn't fit in here, and I don't want to go through the process. I mean, would you want to have to use the Jacobs bit to switch out between each and every one of these when you just, that's what the quick release is for. You know, the quick release is to, you know, get in and out. Like I can take this out and pop this in, no problem, easy peasy. And so for me personally, I feel like it's a better option, if you're going to have a Festool drill, to go ahead and invest in one of these 1/4 inch Centrotec options, so that it gives you the ability to use whatever drill bit that you can find in your big box store. And when you decide you're ready to order some more high dollar bits, then you can do that, and you can take your time waiting for them to come in the mail. Now, obviously in the previous 2 videos, I was showing what I have here, the Amana depth stop drill bits, and then also I was showing these self-centering bits here. So obviously all of this stuff comes on the table when you start talking about using an adapter like this. Now, by purchasing this $32 bit, if I don't want to, I don't have to pay 90 or $84 for each of these. I can buy 2 of these and use them just as well and get both of these for basically the price of one of these. Alternatively, or in addition to that, I can actually use this self-centering bit here in lieu of, and get 3 of them. Get 3 different ones. Instead of paying $97 for this, I can pay $27 or $22 for this solution, the Bosch setup here that I have, and I'm gonna get the same functionality. It may not look the same. It may not, you know, like I mean, I feel like these look nicer than these, and you know, as I feel like the actual adapter looks nicer than this. But this is gonna get you. It's gonna get the job done for you. This is totally, you know, non-Festool, but native, because you have other companies stepping up, such as Make It Snappy Tools, to give you the ability to utilize your Festool drill in a wide variety of applications that you may not have been able to do without that option. I have not done any deep research to find out if there's actually a Centrotec version of this Craig drill bit. There may be, but up to this point, I have not looked into that. However, even if I did find one of these, it's going to be very similar to this Make It Snappy Craig Roberts bit. You see, if I go and buy a new Craig setup, it's going to come with one of these. But if I want to use the native Centrotec, obviously I have to order this alone. Now, it's not that expensive. This was like 10 or, you know, $9 or $10 for this version, this Centrotec version of the Roberts bit. But I still would have to wait the few days for it to be delivered, as opposed to if I went and bought a brand new Craig setup, or if I went in my big box store and I wanted to use this to do pocket holes, then I can now take my Festool CSX, not touch my Jacobs chuck, pop this in, I'm good to go. And you know, I can pop that out if you only have one drill that you're using and you've got a quick solution. If you have 2 drills and maybe only one quick chuck, you know, you have this functionality where you take the whole thing off and pop it on here and you're good to go. Or you can have multiple of these. Like if I take this one here and put it into this drill, let's pop this out again. Hold on, let me pop that into there and then push this out. And if I'm using 2 drills, obviously you may want to use a little bit more power to drill especially with harder woods, to drill your actual pocket hole holes, and then you may want a little bit more finesse to actually advance the screw into the hole. So I can go this option, or if you're going to get the snappy tools, you got this option here. So anyways, guys, long-winded video talking about how you can get the 1/4 inch function in your Festool drills. This is going to help me because going forward, I want to use my Festool drills to get more familiar with them and also kind of stay in one system. This right here, I really like this drill. I like my Milwaukee drills. They're great. However, the one unique feature, and I'm going to beat a dead horse with this one, this right here is the Festool TID. This is their more powerful version of a drill, which gives you the ability to, it actually has a hammer function built in. And you know, my Milwaukee and both my DeWalt respectively, both of those drills, they have a permanent Jacobs chuck, which you already know how I feel about a Jacobs truck. But this one not only has the ability to have quick release, it has the additional power over the CSX and possibly over the C18, but I got the quick release. And in addition to that, right here, one of the things that you get in the Festool system, this is the right angle adapter, but you also have an offset adapter. You have a depth stop adapter, which would give you the ability to replace a drill like this one here. You can get like a cone adapter similar to this and actually put it on this particular drill. And that makes, if you wanted a heavier duty drill that you would use all the time, you could buy a drill like this and buy all your different adapters, whether it be the right angle, the offset, the depth stop, accessories, and then this could be your do-all drill if you wanted it to be. If you're going to do lighter duty here, you've got the CSX, and it's got its own angle adapter here, and it also has other adapters that you can utilize. So for myself personally, in a lot of ways I keep saying that if I could start all over again, I would have just spent the money and I would have basically gone Festool in the beginning, not because I see it as some kind of a bougie brand or some kind of rite of passage, but simply because just using this tool right here, how well it's thought out as far as giving you some flexibility to do different things with the same tool. Having that right angle adapter, having the depth stop to be able to, you could have your drill cranked all the way up to its highest setting, and with the depth stop adapter, it's going to sink your screws at the exact same depth no matter how many times you use it, versus if you were using a conventional drill, you're going to talk about more of hand control and trigger control, which you can get with experience. But as I said, you know, this for me, I do not do this as an occupation. You know, I fix things around the house. I build, you know, little things here and there as I'm trying to grow my skills. And I want to focus more on the doing and less on trying to finagle and figure out a tool. And I feel like tools like this and the options that are available, Centrotec chuck, these little quick adapters, are going to give me the ability to kind of move the tool out of the way, let the tool kind of fade to the background. Now that comes at a cost, but that gives me the ability to focus in on what I'm trying to do. And many times I'll start off doing a project and I'll realize that this could have been done in a better way if I had the right tool to do it. And I know there are many people that do things with way less. I know that. And you know, and good for you, happy for you, whatever the case may be. This is not a contest between me or anyone else. This is for my personal experience in my personal shop. And this is what I enjoy and this is what I'll do. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, bonus, if you did stay to the end of this video, I did have a bonus that I wanted to share. It was something that I meant to put in the video before. Now, this is another reason why I purchased this particular drill right here. All right, there's a reason why I purchased this drill. And the reason is I have the Parf Guide system. This is UJK Parf Guide system. This is how I actually made this MFT table here. And it actually comes with the special drill bit. And you know, not to go too deep into it, but if you look at the shank on this, it's very unique. And the great thing about this particular shank I wanted to show you is, we talked about the Centrotec system. We talked about the difference between, you know, as I pull these out, the 1/4" shank and the actual Centrotec shank. Oh, you can see the difference there. Well, if you look, take a look at this shank here. It's a little bit different than both of those, right? Let's look at it by itself. That's the shank. Now, check the uniqueness of this particular thing. This is the Centrotec chuck that I'm putting on here, right? Got it on there, and I'm taking this drill bit, pulling back the collar. It's locked in. It's locked in there, right? That's good, and that's cool. Now, let's go ahead and let's put on the adapter, right? To switch this to a 1/4". So I'm gonna pop this out. This is the Centrotec to 1/4" adapter. I pull this back, I put that in there, that's locked in there. You can see that. I take that same drill bit, that UJK bit, it's a 20mm bit, and I put this in. So it fits in there, it's just friction fit. But let me try it here, because I think, not 100% sure, but check this out. I'm not sure why it's not working with this particular version, but look at this. So I pull this forward, I put that in, look at that. It's locked in, that's a 1/4" chuck. To prove it, right here, we've got the DeWalt, which is 1/4". And look at that, it's locked in there. So what the unique thing, it doesn't, so I see it doesn't work with this particular adapter, but let's try the Make It Snappy adapter. Let's see if it works with that one. So we've got it in here, as you can see, and I'm gonna pop this out. And it does. You see it works there. So that's a difference that you'll see between the Make It Snappy and the Centrotec one. So the Centrotec one, for whatever reason, is not accommodating. Oh, no, I stand corrected. Oh, no, yeah, it's not accommodating this bit. It actually it fits in there pretty snug, but it pops out, okay? So let me do this again one more time so you see what I'm showing you here. So this adapter does not work with this drill bit. However, this particular configuration is able to go into the Centrotec native chuck and locks in, but it also will go into a 1/4 inch chuck and work and lock in. And so let me so that's a unique thing about this particular bit. So that's one piece of bonus footage that I wanted to share. This is the UJK. So if a manufacturer were to design bits like this, then you would not have that issue of having to use one system or the other. But that would require a manufacturer to make all of their drill bits in this particular design. Now, the reason why I purchased this drill, or one of the reasons why, is when I drilled out this table, I was using I started off using my Milwaukee install driver, okay? So that would be similar to using this, but it was a 12-volt tool. Now the way this works, you have this hole, this kind of bushing opening here, and the bit goes through like this, right? And you would set it down over your particular hole, and you have these other holes here that you would put dogs through to reference. So you have these different holes that you would drill through, right? Now, with this particular setup, take a look at this. I can take this Centrotec chuck. So you pull the green to lock it on here, right? So it just sits there. Look at that. I can move it anywhere I need to put it on the table to actually start my drilling process. Now, I can take this particular drill, which is a more powerful drill than the other one that I was using. I pull the blue collar down, and there I am. I'm hooked in there. But look at how, you see how that falls over like that? When I originally started drilling this MFT table, I started off with a small 12-volt drill, the Milwaukee version of this, because it had the ability to pop off, just like this. So I can leave it sitting in between drilling, because this is a lot of holes to drill. So what I thought about, well, first and foremost, I was worried about wearing out that little M12 drill. So I switched over to my DeWalt FlexVolt drill. The problem was it only came with a Jacobs chuck. So since it came with a fixed Jacobs chuck, when I set it onto the drill bit, I had to basically, when I was managing the system, and mind you, this is a carefully milled piece of aluminum to be accurate, to be able to do this job, I had to lay the thing down like this unless I wanted to unscrew it every time, right? And this this could be causing damage to the bushing or different things like that. But if you have a Festool drill like this, or a drill with a removable head, I can just pop this off whenever I need to take a break, and that's nice and sturdy and sound in that position. So now, if I wanted to do light duty, I could do this. I mean, look at this. What other drill is going to give you the ability to do that? I switched from a 10.5 to an 18-volt hammer drill, and then back over to the C18 drill, and their Festool 12-volt drill that they're going to come out with, the CSX, and then the 18-volt CSX. They'll do the same thing. They'll all fit on this system. And something else I wanted to add to it was right here I have my Festool vacuum, and on the tip this is the UJK accessory that goes onto this here to collect all of your shavings when you are drilling out your holes for making your MFT. There it goes. It pops on like that. Okay, so we got it in place. So now, right, remember this is the Festool system here. My dust collection hose goes inside of here like this, right? Right there. What do you see? Bluetooth signal which goes to my Bluetooth dust extractor. So while I'm drilling out my table, when I did this the first time, I had sawdust all over the table. All right, and I had to go back and blow it off or vacuum it off to find out where I was and where I was going with my drills, with my hole drilling. With this setup right here, every time I pull the trigger, it's gonna turn on my vacuum and collect the majority of the dust shavings right here, all in this one solution that I can move around to do this job. But don't take my word for it. Soon here on my channel, I'm actually going to be making another MFT top. And as I told you before, the reason why I purchased this TPC drill was because I wanted to have more power with the same functionality to be able to drill something like an MFT tabletop using this UJK Parf Guide system. So look forward in the future to me going ahead and doing that project and allowing you to see it. My goal is to try to make a smaller MFT, something a little bit more portable, like the Festool mobile station that they have, so that I can either take things outside, have some tools stacked on it and roll it outside and make a different table. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is getting either another quad hinge system for that, or I may pick up the dashboard hinge system, because I do want to see that one in conjunction to the one that I have here, and I can compare the Bench Dogs quad hinge system with the Festool original hinge system, and then finally the dashboard. That may be something that may be coming up on the channel in the future. However, I will be making another MFT. You will see me using this drill. You will see me using obviously the adapter for being able to well, I won't need the adapter for this particular drill bit because it actually accepts the Centrotec system, or the Centrotec system accepts that bit. But I will be using this with that, and in the future, when you see me using pocket hole or doing pocket holes and such, you will see me utilizing either the Make It Snappy device or this particular device here for being able to use 1/4" bits. This video was a lot longer than I expected. The two previous videos, the short one about the actual depth stop bits, and then also about the self-centering bits. That's the reason why I kind of did those as little short videos, so that it wouldn't make this video even longer. Thanks for taking the time to stick with me in this video, and I look forward to bringing more content in the future. Thanks, and have a great day.